Hello and welcome back to FTLG Marathon's third online extravaganza. I'm here again as your host today, and I'm happy to present to you Viper UK, who's going to run Reservoir Dogs. Great movie, never seen the game, so take it away, Viper.
No worries. Thank you very much, Tom. Yes, so we have Reservoir Dogs. This is the PC port. There was a Xbox release and a PlayStation 2 release of this game. This closely, or tries to closely follow what roughly happened in the 1994 game. There are going to be bits in here that were not originally in the film itself or were not shown. Obviously, video games are able to stretch the imagination and go one step further. This game is quite short, and I'm just going to give a quick heads up now. Most cutscenes will be skipped, as all music has been muted for the sake of DMCA and all that jazz. There is going to be quite a bit of shooting, running, and gunning, and there's a few driving segments as we go. So if we are ready on time, I'll give you a countdown. So real quick as well is that there is a total of 16 chapters, although we skipped the first one because that is a training introduction. So timing starts when we start the second one, or chapter 1 properly in the game. We're going to be playing this through on the easiest difficulty and going through the whole game. So if we're ready on time, I will give you a countdown from 5.
Yes, I'm ready on time, so you can just
No
do
worries.
countdown.
I'll give you a countdown from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so first thing I'm going to mention as well. So there's going to be a lot of on-screen text as well, and not just that. There's also going to be in-game cutscenes, so don't be surprised if we end up sat around for like a good minute before we end up starting actually playing the game. Now, like I said, there's a lot of shooting in this. You'll see that we have cutscenes on here as well, for those that aren't sure. So this game came out, I think it was around 2004, around about there, 2004, 2005. Was not very well received. Didn't receive a really bad review score, but wasn't highly received, mainly because of the fact that maybe due to graphics or the game mechanics. So for those that aren't aware of Reservoir Dogs or what it's about, it is basically about a heist gone wrong, but the film takes place over the course of about an hour and a half of the film. You end up having to try and piece together yourself what actually happened. So we're immediately going to get rid of these guys in front. So we're going to try and get rid of these. So the funny thing is, so the first actual chapter involves us having to defend against the cops that are trying to get in. Now, that was actually not too bad. I got 2 for the price of 1 there. So the funny thing is here, this is where you kind of have to just wait. Now in this corner here, if I just wait here, the cops always jump in, but they don't actually shoot you. They can't shoot you. They can try their best, but for some reason, hiding in this corner just seems to not work. It just seems to work where the AI doesn't bother shooting you. So it says you've got a 30-second warning. Basically, we sit in this corner here for 30 seconds. We basically just wait until the SWAT blows the door open. Now, you're supposed to go around here and you're supposed to wait till... you're supposed to basically kill them all and everything like that. And you can just wait here. You may notice as well, like I said, I'm not doing anything here. It's not too bad. So they're going to blow the door. There we go. So they're going to blow the doors wide open like this. And we're going to get spawned at the side of the door here. I'm going to kill this SWAT guy here. And that is the first level done. Just like that. Now, like I said, there are in-game cutscenes that we're going to have between levels. You also are rated on a scale, as you can see here at the end. So you are rated between levels. So if you killed a load of people, you get known as a psycho. If you don't kill many people, you get known as a professional. There are 3 endings. There are a professional ending, a psycho ending, and a regular ending. The regular ending is the one that most people will get. It's probably the same one we're getting. So between races... between missions, should I say, you have driving segments, believe it or not. So the funny thing is, in the film, there are 7 characters or 6 characters altogether. Now, in the film, they are played by several well-known actors, such as Tim Roth, Quentin Tarantino himself, who directed the film, Michael Madsen, Harvey Keitel, Steve Buscemi, I'm trying to think who, Eddie Bunker, who else? There's a few other guys as well. I can't quite remember the other guys. I think it was called, is it Chris Penn? I think it was one of the other guys. Yeah. So played by some very well-known actors. Now, in the video game world, they're played by... The voice actors for said characters are not played by their actual actors, apart from two. So, Chris Penn, who voiced Eddie, did actually lend his voice to... he did actually lend his voice to the game, as did Michael Madsen. Now, here's a funny thing. So, Michael Madsen in this game, obviously, he plays a character called Mr. Blonde. Mr. Blonde is an absolute psychopath. In the films, he's seen as a psycho. He's known as a psychopath. Now, at the moment, it's Mr. Pink that is talking. However, Mr. Blonde will be telling his story, and this is all stuff that isn't actually heard in the film. It wasn't like meant to be in the film, but the thing is that there is a few things where it's like they just randomly start talking about things. It's very odd, but it's very cool. So there we go. So this is one of his stories that he has. I will just say for the heads up, now the film and the game are an 18+, so don't be surprised if you expect, swearing and things like that. I'm just going to give you a heads up now. It is very well known for being quite bloody, shootouts and things like that. Speaking of which, Tom, am I right in saying you've seen the film but you haven't seen the game, right?
Yeah, I've never seen the game. I didn't even know it existed, but I have seen the movie a long time ago.
What did you make of the film when you saw it?
Quite interesting, as you said, pretty violent. I really like it, so. How about yourself?
The funny thing is, so the whole point of the whole video game itself, the whole thing from start to finish, it has, I think it's something like up until, well, this came out in 1994. Scarface took the cake with how many F-bombs and things it dropped, and this was like a very close second or third, I believe. And then Wolf of Wall Street came out in 2013 and really wiped the floor. Yeah, for a film, it is quite violent. If you're okay with violence and stuff like that, then obviously I would highly recommend the film. Now, the film obviously has a plot, as I said. It's also worth noting that when you start the missions, you have one pistol normally, but then as you go on, you have a chance to, you get two. You can actually pick two up, which is pretty good. Also, one thing that we always need to do, and one thing I need to remember to do, is shoot off padlocks. So doors will be locked, and you do need to shoot padlocks off to move further in the game. There is actually one part of this game where we're going to have music, albeit it will be for a brief like, split second. Yeah, like I said, for those that haven't seen the film, would highly recommend watching it. But like I said, do be aware that there is a lot of violence, so just be aware of that. So what we're going to try and do here is we have a couple of guys here, and I think I can get the guy's shotgun. Yes, I can. So for the most part, as I said, we're going to just run and gun through here. We don't actually need to really do anything. There are going to be guys that are going to set alarms off and things like that, like now. Probably. Or not. Maybe not. Like I said, you can literally just run straight through the level. It's ridiculous. Like, yeah, there is parts where you're going to have to run and gun, but for the most part, it's quite a fast-paced run. I don't know if there's a guy in here. No, there isn't. Okay, cool. So the shotgun's quite a vital weapon. So's the assault rifle. The pistols are very well done. Here's the bit of music that you'll get. So I'm just going to run through here. Now, it's worth noting that if you don't get past people or don't eliminate some people, they can get in your way. So it might seem evil that I'm killing innocent civilians at times, but believe me, anyone that's played a GTA game will know sometimes people just get in your way and it happens. This is no different. Like I said, there are in-game cutscenes for this, so there will be a lot of times where we will be sat, like this for example, we will actually be sat watching in-game cutscenes. This does actually happen in the film as well. He does actually get run over. Yeah, so that's that. So yes, as I said, very violent film. The game is quite violent. I wouldn't put this as above GTA, personally speaking, or anything like that. I think personally, them games are way more violent. But yeah, if we're getting off the topic of violence and everything like that, like I said, so that the whole plot of the film is a guy known as Joe Camparo? I can't remember his last name, something like that. Gets a bunch of guys together that are criminals, that are known criminals, that he's worked with in the past. And I think it's 6 guys altogether, or 7 guys. And they all come together to pull off a jewelry heist. Well, the thing is the jewelry heist goes wrong. And you're trying to puzzle, that they are trying to figure out how it went wrong, what happened. Unfortunately, they can't. And yeah, fair to say, the whole point of the film, it's a bit of a weird one. So, you know, think of how films are, right, so most films are shot or ran in chronological order, right? This film was one of them where it actually wasn't. It was shot in a completely different order. So it's a case of, it starts with the aftermath and then works its way backwards a little bit at times. And then you get filled in with like some of the characters' backstory. There are some characters that seem like they don't exist. Also, we have to make sure we get this guy. So I've got to make sure I try and avoid this guy here. The guy with the assault rifle on that rooftop is quite lethal if I'm not careful. Okay, we've had a few guys here as well. That's fine. So, I don't know if he's going to come around the corner or not. No, he's not. Okay, so sometimes the AI seems to be random as well. Is the fact that sometimes them police can show up. They can be triggered. That's them done. He's out the way. For the most part, you want to run with your pistols because of the fact that the pistols are the fastest thing. I am going to not take a chance here. I'm going to top up with health. So during the level, there are a lot of these health packs on the wall. Obviously, in most cases, you want to try and keep on top of your health. There is a glitch here, just as you come out to the left-hand side where that door is. So there's a crate on the back of the truck. And the record that's held by someone called Soupsteak does a glitch where they're able to basically go, like, they're basically able to do like a glitch where it says like maybe 5 or 10 seconds, something like that. So yeah. Also, we're now on to our next driving segment, which is this part of the film, this part of the game also follows the film. So Mr. Roger's been shot by a woman who he's actually killed him in retaliation. And now, as Mr. White, we need to get Mr. Orange to the warehouse before he dies and runs out of blood. And it also involves fending off police who are hot on our tail. So there's going to be times as well during this. This is another thing with the driving segments. So with the driving segments, there are going to be times where we need to slow down because there are slow-mo segments. Like, for example, here. So... oops, there we go. And cops got in my way, but that's fine. We're all good. So just need to make sure that I don't go too fast off here. So there we go. Because if you don't go too fast, it's not too bad. Also, yes, physics don't apply in this game at times. It's quite a fun little game at times, can be. as you can see. It's pretty mental at times. The driving physics have a lot to be desired. I'm not gonna lie to you. They have a lot to be desired. But yeah, so this does actually happen in the film where Mr. White is driving Mr. Orange, who's been shot, back to the warehouse, where obviously he can get him patched up. So yeah, need to make sure I don't go too fast. There we go. You can also flip the car over as well when you're driving, so you do have to be careful. So you have to like slow right down. There we go. There we go. So I have to like be careful here because I mean, like I said, the driving is all over the place, as you can see. Hopefully I can get out of here. Oh, much trouble. Now is that cop going to be a pain or is he not? Let's try that. I think it should be fine. There we go. Just like that. And that's that. Yeah. So we got there in the end. But yeah, that is chapter 6. Now, personally, I haven't actually been practicing much of the driving segment. Simple reason for the fact is that the majority of the game takes place on foot. So you're always doing like run and gun sections, and there's a lot of, like I said, you've already seen by now, there's a lot of shooting, a lot of killing. Similar to a GTA game. This is one of the first, in my opinion, this is one of the first levels that will often hurt someone. Now, I say hurt someone as a first-time runner. So what we need to do here is, there's probably going to be a cop here. Yes, there is. And we're going to get past him. Nice. So sometimes the cops do spawn, other times they don't. So there's one particular cop who has a shotgun. And we're going to make sure that we can get his shotgun. It might be a bit, but yeah, right near the end of this right near the end of this particular part is a bit more tricky. Also, I believe we have a new donation. You want to go ahead, Tom?
Yes, yeah, I can take it right now. So we got a $20 donation from the survivor saying, here's some support for a good cause. Also good luck, Viper, on this run. Taking the total tally up to $2,031. Appreciate the generosity and thank you very much.
So yeah, like I said, so there's this part here which isn't too bad. But for most part, as soon as you see a security guard or you see the police, you're best off eliminating them as soon as, because they will get in your way. There should be a, there we are. There he is. This is the cop I needed. I need his shotgun. There it is. That's why. So yeah, so we have to deal with this guy and get the shotgun because we're gonna need it later on. There's always this cop here that always runs from here. The other thing to mention as well, so this game has a targeting system, which is actually quite useful because of the fact that, for the most part, the targeting system is quite useful for getting bits. Also, we have SWAT guys. Normally we don't. Okay. There we go. So I think we should be alright here. I'm going to need full ammo for this, so that's kind of interesting. So at this point, you can run around to the left or you can run straight. You're better off killing this guy as soon as. And then there's two cops that come out of here, which you need to shoot. Oh, I say that, I've already done it. Not mad. I always get full health from here. Now, there are cops following me, but it's fine, because they won't follow me for long. That guy always gets in your way, so I always make sure I get rid of him. But then, that always means that you always have a cop on your tail as well. Let's see how we get on here. Hopefully there's not two guys. There we go. So there is going to be a bit of a tricky section coming up. I'm going to need to make sure I've got... There we go. And then that's that level done. Like I said, you always have this. You always have these in-game cutscenes between levels. I can't really explain too much about what's going on. I struggle to do it during this run because of the fact that there's a lot of run and gun and making sure that you keep an eye on your health and your ammo and knowing where to go. So, this actually correlates quite well. So, Mr. Blonde, who you've just seen, who we've just been playing as, he's shot his way through a shopping mall, and the cop that he was just stood behind then, he's just kidnapped him. There's a guy called Marvin Nash. Now, he does come into the story a little bit, only a little bit, but he uses him as bait, I guess. Now, you don't see this bit in the film. This is part of the game that there was like, right, okay, well, what about like after he's kidnapped him? Why don't we make that into a driving segment? So that's what they've done. So this is the first mission, the first driving mission, and the only driving mission that has a. You'll see on the left-hand side for the speed meter. It has a red line, like a red marker part on the speedo, meaning if you drop to, I think it's like below a certain amount of speed, then you end up having a problem where the cops will try and obviously the cop will try and get out if he can. So obviously we're going to make sure that we're as far away from the cops as possible if we can. So yeah, for the most part, it's a typical driving segment. There is going to be a few cops. It is going to get a bit hectic. I will not lie to you. Yeah, unlike being in other driving games where there's like a bomb or something like that, if you drive down slow enough, then the cop will escape, and obviously then that will trigger a failed cutscene. Also, you have this as well, which I quite like, where you have the helicopter trying to shoot you. Always reminds me of, I think you can get a few action games like that, which is really cool. So as you can see, the helicopter's still trying to shoot me and everything. As you can see now, I've dropped below a certain speed, and they're like, oh no. So I'm gonna go to the right hand side here, and hopefully I don't. There we go. Hopefully he's not getting out. No, he's not. There we go. That's all good. There we go. Also, the other thing is as well is Marvin's got health. You can't really see it, but obviously your car has health, and so does he. So you do have to be careful. So yeah, for the most part, you want to follow a certain path as well. Like there are routes that split on the roads, like this one for example. And you want to make sure that you're taking this route. The last bit here is always a bit of a pain. This bit here. Because obviously if you don't get it right, then it can get a bit tricky. And then that's it. That's the end of the driving segment. So that's that. Yes, there is, like I said, there's in-game cutscenes as well, which always makes me laugh. In the film, what is it? In the film, he just shows up with a cheeseburger in hand. Anyone that's seen the film may remember Mr. Blonde just turning up like halfway through the film and just like you know, you shouldn't play so rough because Mr. Pink and Mr. White are in an argument. And you always wonder, like, when the hell did he stop off to get the cheeseburger? Well, the game just told you how. He had a cop in the back of his trunk. He kidnapped him and went straight to the cheeseburger thing. Obviously, I think that's quite obvious in the film anyway, if you put two and two together. But yeah, the game actually allows you to do that drive to the cheeseburger place on the way. So this next mission is Mr. Pink has gone down to get the stones, and again, can be another tricky one here. So I'm going to make sure I get any dual pistols here, because dual pistols do come in useful. If you have a single pistol at the start, make sure you get dual pistols, because obviously you get more ammo. And you get two guns for the price of one, so that's good. So there's this cop here, who's got he has a machine gun, which we're going to pick up. Now, I didn't mean to kill that civilian, that's my unfortunate. So there are a couple of cops here, which we're going to make sure we keep ahead of. I think he's going to, yeah, there we go. He's going to try and kill me. For the most part, this will be a run and gun section. There's like 3 cops here. you want to make sure that the cops do not hide behind things, because if they do, it's like, oh. Oops. My bad. The targeting system isn't the best. I'm gonna make sure I get this guy as well. Oh, there's one guy here as well. It's fine. The shotgun on this level isn't as good as the machine gun. Like I said, I'm gonna use the dual pistols here. There is a part in a second that comes up where we need to run through some smoke. So I apologise if I'm going to be a bit quiet here. So the SWAT team is going to burst through his door now. And basically, in all of the smoke, they're going to try and kill me. Now, obviously, they can see me. I can see them. Oops, and I died. God damn it. They were waiting for me. God damn it. I forget where the checkpoint is for this mission. I think it's here. Is it here? Oh, so it's below here. Okay, that's bad. So I might need now, because I'm going to have to pick up the shotgun. Oh well, it's fine. It is quite tricky, that part, I will be honest. It literally is a case of pray and hope for the best. You can just try and wait for the cops to come in, then kill them. Like this, for example. Okay, I guess shotgun's a lot better there. So I need the... I do need the shotgun. Oops, hello. Is he going to stand up? Okay, cool. That worked. Okay. Backup strat seems to work. That's always a good one. So there's going to be 2 SWAT guys up there that are going to start shooting at us. Oh no, there's one guy. Where's the other guy? Okay, I guess not. Normally there's 2 guys up there. The one thing I have noticed during like practice and things like that is that the AI is random when it spawns in. So sometimes you can have guys spawning around the corner when they usually don't spawn there. It's very odd. Right, so the finale, the finale of this this particular one. So there are going to be a couple of guys here that we're going to need to kill. Unfortunately, we're going to have to be quick about it because they start hiding behind stuff, and we don't want that. So there's one guy on the stairs here. I'm going to have to kill this guy on the stairs. There is a... If I can get him. I'm going to have to get him as well. Is there anybody else? Nope, that should be fine. Okay, we're good. We're all good. So I lost about a minute there, but that's fine. Should be good. Yeah, that's that level done and dusted. So Pink managed to get away with the stones. So in that mission, to try and explain, I'll try and explain as best as I can. I do apologise if I'm a bit out with it. But in that level, Pink goes and gets the stones. So obviously, he's gone and got the stones. He's like, right, I've gone and got the stones. Da 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 da. Bosh. You know, he's gone and got those. And yeah, so he's got the stones. He had to fight his way through the cops. Next, we have Mr. White. So Mr. White is the next 2 missions. So this is the first one. So we have like a 3-minute mission here, which is basically, as I will just call it, Checkpoint Charlie. So there are these checkpoints that we need to get through. It's relatively straightforward. There's not too much to it. But yeah, now would probably be a good time to mention anything about the charity, because there really isn't too much to it in this level.
Definitely can do that. So we are gathering to write love on our arms, which is a non-profit moment dedicated to presenting hope and finding help for people struggling with depression, addiction, self-injury and suicide. The WHLOHA exists to encourage, inform, inspire, and invest directly into treatment and recovery. And I will put a link to their site in chat as well.
So yeah, this is something like, I think it's something like, so like I said, it's about a 3-minute mission thereabouts. But for the most part, they're just checkpoints that you have to do. Like I said, it's like a checkpoint Charlie. This will probably be the easiest level in the game for most people. I won't lie to people here. I think anyone that plays this game will probably find this level very easy. This will be their easiest level. So there is a difficult mission that comes up. So you have this level with the driving. You have another level which comes up after this, where Mr. White is the character you're playing as, and you have to get through Sam's car lot. So I'm going to try and get past these people. Hopefully I can, without hitting too many of them. That would be nice. But yeah, for the most part, like I said, the driving segments aren't much. They're about as simple as it gets. There's really not too much. So there's a checkpoint that's coming up for this, and I believe then it's the last bit, which is like 10 seconds away around the corner. It gets a bit tricky towards the end of this level, because you end up being in a neighborhood, and yeah, fair to say the cops don't like you driving through a neighborhood at 110 miles an hour? I mean, that's kind of understandable, right? So, the other thing is, as well, is the cops are completely random. They go absolutely mental. So, this is the last bit here that I was on about. They go a bit crazy. And they will not leave you alone. Like, I'm not, like I said, I won't beat around the bush here. Like, they just do not leave you alone here. They will batter the hell out of you if they get the chance to do so. So, it really is a case of put your foot down and go as fast as possible, as you can see here. So you can go to the left or you can go right. It really doesn't matter here. I mean, I can go right here, I can go left. It really doesn't matter. And then, yeah. So that's the end of that one. So yeah, the cops chased him all the way there. He does eventually lose them, which is how we have the next level, which is called Sam's Hot Car Lot. So Mr. White seems to have shook. He seems to have shook the police off his tail, and what we've ended up doing is we abandon the car and obviously go through the car lot. Now, I will be honest, this particular level has a bit of a tricky start, but gets easier as it goes, especially towards like the end. The mission after this is a bit of a tricky one. It's quite difficult, I'm not going to lie. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of running and gunning in this one. So there are cops about. Obviously, they immediately start shooting. There's a cop round here that's got a... there it is. He has a machine gun, which is what we need. There we go. So this bit upstairs here is quite tricky because there's a gate here, which you need to shoot your way through. And then it's like a case of making sure you get through here. Trying to get through as best as you can. Which isn't too bad. That's actually pretty good. Again, another in-game cutscene here. So there's these two cops and a SWAT guy down here. Which... like that. I can use the assault rifle. So we got a... make sure I can get through here. Like that. And we got through there relatively unscathed, actually. I'm quite impressed. The assault rifle is quite a powerful weapon, as you can tell. It's not that powerful. I still prefer the other assault rifle, but this is quite a powerful weapon. There should be a cop around here. Oh, okay. He's pretty much gone. Ooh. Oh, he nearly got me. I'll give him credit where credit's due. He tried. He really tried. So, I think we should... oh, can I get through here? Yep. Okay, so this last bit is pretty much just run. You can literally run through here. To the exit, which is here. There we are. So Mr. White's blown his way out, or should I say somebody has blown the doors open. Which gets us on to Chapter 11. So Chapter 11 is the first time we meet Nice Guy Eddie, who's one of the main characters. You may remember me saying about a guy called Nice Guy Eddie before. The voice actor who actually did it was the guy who lent his voice actor. So this mission is about 4 minutes long. It is a pain of a mission. So up ahead is Mr. Pink. Now there are police cruisers absolutely everywhere. So in this mission, Mr. Pink has these police cruisers on him all the time. Now you're supposed to keep them off him, but you don't actually need to do that. What you can do is you can drive quite far ahead, as long as you follow the route that as long as you follow the route that he does, you'll actually be able to rubber band him to you. And the cars will also get destroyed or damaged in the process. So you may notice that the health is going down as we're driving away. He actually has quite a lot of health. So as long as we drive the route that he drives, we should be fine. So yeah, we won't really have to worry too much. So we're going to just like try and boost away and everything like that. After a certain point, we will actually be needing to help him out. So that we're able to make things a bit easier on us. As you can see, we're quite a bit ahead now. And the game actually doesn't say, oh no, you're miles ahead. I've got quite far ahead and then dropped back a little bit. As you can see, two of the cars have gone. He's nowhere to be found either. I can get all the way there. He'll have 2 more cops on him, as you can see. So you see the orange... There's another 2 there. There you go. Now, you can, if you want to, if you're brave enough, you can actually drive all the way to the end of here. I choose not to do that. Simple reason. If I drive all the way to the end, there's a real good chance that he will be killed. And we want to make sure that he doesn't get killed. So we're going to drive like all the way to the end of the park and everything like that. The only time that I'm actually going to need anything of any kind, where I'm actually going to need to help, is right near the end. So them cops that he has on him right now should last him till the end of this level. Now obviously I'm going to need to wait for him because of the fact that we are going really fast. We are quite far ahead. If them cops somehow get destroyed by the time we get to about... So if I get to about here, it should be alright. So I can wait for him here. You can see that the AI getting destroyed. Mr. Pink is destroying them, which is good. So it's this point here. So what we need to do here is we need to destroy the cop cars. So there are 2 cops all together. There you go. So, oops. Like that. As you can see, it gets a bit hectic. So what I can do now is, once we've got that last cop will blow up in a minute. There we go. So you have to make sure that he gets to this point here, right at the very end of the level, with no cops on his tail. Which, if I'm being honest, that went quite well. That's good. That went quite well. I'm happy we got through that in one piece. So obviously Mr. Pink buggers off, he disappears, and we're like, oh no. We need to go and find him. We also need to find Mr. White as well, because Mr. White has disappeared. So now you actually get to play as Eddie. So you have Chapter 12 and Chapter 13 where we get to play as Nice Guy Eddie, and we get to play as Mr. Blonde. These 2 levels are quite difficult. We also get the first taste of a Desert Eagle of some kind. So Nice Guy Eddie carries Desert Eagle instead of a regular pistol. So the Desert Eagle that he has is lethal. It's like 1 shot, 1 kill, pretty much. So as soon as the level starts, you have to cut your way through here, like so. There'll be cops waiting for you, as you can see. And you have to make sure that they don't kill you. Now, obviously, there are going to be cops all over the place. Like I said, 1 shot, 1 kill. For the most part, they die in one shot. So there's going to be a cop here. I don't know which one that was. Was that the one with the shotgun or the one with the... Oh, that was actually the one with the assault rifle. Okay, that's good. That's actually what I needed. There we go. So we're going to open this door here, run through here. So there is a SWAT guy that's coming out of around here, like this. He's always a pain. I'm not going to lie. He always gets in the way. So we now have to make sure that we get rid of these guys. Should be one guy around here. There he is. And then I'm going to shoot this lock here. So that unlocks this lock over here. There are guys over here, but we're going to just... That guy, I'm only going to kill one guy just because of the fact that I didn't know if he was going to kill me or not. There we go. I do need a shotgun. I don't have one. I do now. I do have a shotgun. Okay, that's good. The shotgun's really OP in this. Simply because of the fact that... Oh, if we can get it. There we go. Help. Like I said, very OP weapon. It's good at close range, which for the most part you will be fighting in. There we go. And now I'm going to go all the way to the end. And that will literally be it for that section there, as you can see. And we now have a cutscene with Eddie and Mr. White. So you know after Mr. White got through a door, this is what happens after. Like I said, so there is in-game cut. We can't skip these in-game cutscenes. I wish we could find a way to skip these in-game cutscenes, but we haven't. Again, cutscenes. So we now move on to chapter 13, which is to do with Mr. Blonde. So it was a case of how did he get to the mall in the first place? So obviously you start when you first play as Mr. Blonde, he's already in the mall. But this is how he got to the mall in the first place. It's a very hectic mission. It's very tense, and there's often a shootout between him and the police. So yeah, and you can also tell as well, like some of the lines reiterated because this is what happens whilst all this other stuff is going on. So again, playing as Mr. Blonde. Now, as soon as we start, we run straight out of here to the right. Get the weapon out. There's going to be a door here where a policewoman will run out. She'll run out straight away. You can run straight past her. Now, there's these two guys. You can skip this cutscene. We haven't figured out how yet. The guy on... This guy here with the shotgun, we want his shotgun as soon as. Because of the fact that, again, the shotgun's quite OP. I did pick up a smoke grenade, which isn't good, but it's fine. I can use the smoke grenade if I want to. There we go. So I'm hoping, with a bit of luck, should be fine. So there's always a cop around the corner here, like that. There's these two guys. Two guys get out of the SWAT van here. We're going to just run here and just hope they don't kill us. There we go. Again, it is literally about running. Now we have two SWAT guys coming from the roof here. We're going to actually wait round the corner here because these guys take a hell of a lot of health. No, I thought they would do better than that, but obviously not. So, immediately we're going to get out of here. We have to go down the street and into a nearby building. Like I said, there's so much going on, it's ridiculous. We're going to pick up another pistol here. So again, so we're able to get more ammo. So there is going to be a copper here that's going to try and shoot us. We don't have to worry about them. It's this guy over here that we need to worry about. Now sometimes you can get two officers spawn. Luckily that was just the one. Oops. If I can run, that'd be nice. So, behind this door is a cop. If we can. There we go. You have to try and shoot that. It's not exactly easy to shoot. If you're on PC, as in using a keyboard and mouse, you'll be fine. But yeah, for the most part, it's not great. Also, I don't want that. I want that. There we go. So I need to make sure that I get round here. There we go. So there's a guy with a shotgun here who tries to kill you. And then there's SWAT guys as well. And you sometimes get this guy here. There you go. And then that's the end of that level. I literally, like, all them cops that were shooting you. Nah, it's fine. He's also got time to get himself a cigarette. It's like, yeah, I'll have a cigarette. Why not? Just like that. So that's that one. We also have now. This is the only time, I'm pretty sure, the only time in the entire game you play as Mr. Brown. So this level is the longest in the game, at over 5.5 minutes long, near 6 minutes. It's an entire driving section. Now this takes place after Mr. White gets to the car, and during this as well is Mr. Brown gets shot, there's someone gets shot, and there's blood and everything. It's not pretty. Oh, thank God that the game respawned me there. That's good. So you can see here we have a time limit. We have to make sure that we get to the warehouse in time. Now, I'm not going to lie to you here. This level, this mission in particular, is really difficult. So you have to make sure that... So you end up going down the freeway. You go across, like... Basically, this is an entire trip across the map in 6 minutes. The cops are absolutely brutal, as you can see. I've never been taken out so much. Like, goddamn, these cops were atrocious today. Luckily, you can escape them, but then obviously they quickly get on you again. So you do have to... This is literally survival till the end. Think of the cops from Driver 1, but worse. Like, these cops are hell to try and avoid. They are ridiculous. Also, nice pop in there. There we go. There's also this story that's to do with a guy with Mr. Orange getting stuck in traffic, and turns out he was stuck behind a mafia. There you go. Funeral for a mafia boss, and he's stuck behind one. He's like, oh no. Every time you think you're getting away from the cops, they just show up. It's ridiculous. As you can see. I expect a lot of argy-bargy with police. Like, trust me, there is a lot. Like, the record for this game is quite optimized. How optimized? I don't know, but the run is very, very good for the world record. As you can see as well, so the cops will batter this car to death. So you do have to make sure you keep not just yourself away from the police, but you also have to make sure that the cops do not wreck the car. If you need to, you can actually lean out the window and shoot the cops, just to get them off you. So yeah, there's that. As you can see, the cops will just be stupid and really brutal. As you can see, they just go absolutely mental. They do go. It does go absolutely mental. This bit, is, like I said, this particular mission is quite a hell of a mission. You'll get to the end, by the way. There's no. I won't beat around the bush. Like, we are gonna make the end regardless. Like, you always make it with like a minute and a bit to go. But the police just don't, as you can see. Police do not constantly stop spawning. It's crazy. Yeah. As you can see, that's another thing as well. It's like, oh yeah, this guy's telling jokes and everything. I think it's quite funny. We also have a police helicopter which is actually doing nothing, which is ridiculous. It's trying to kill me, but it can't. It tries. It does try, but it can't. So you remember that bit as well before where we ended up like running like crazy with the police with nice guy Eddie? Yeah, we're gonna go back through there in a minute. As you can see, we don't go around the whole bit, but we do go through here a little bit. There's cars that still come out the side. it gets, like I said, pretty hectic. So you have to escape the police, you have to escape the police helicopter, there's a lot of shooting. Unfortunately, as I said at the start of this run, I can't have the music playing because obviously, like I said, DMCA. So that's unfortunate. But if we had the music on, then obviously that would make these sections a bit more enjoyable, as I'm sure you may agree. So yeah, the driving mechanics, for those that are like, oh no, what about driving mechanics? They take a bit of getting used to. They're very, I'm going to say the driving mechanics are very arcade-like. So I'm pretty sure this was meant specifically in mind for allowing anybody to play this game. As you can see as well, that we have the, like where we're supposed to get to. We got there in one piece. That was pretty good. Also, that was a gold split. It's pretty good. As you can see, Mr. Brown has finally come to his demise. So what ended up happening there is he ends up crashing the car. He tries to start the car again, and that's that. So we get to the final chapter of the game, Dead as Dillinger. So we play as Mr. Blue, who wants a dramatic ending. He gets out front. This is returning to the start of the game now. So this is what happens to Mr. Blue. He has a shootout with the police. Time is going to be coming up in about a minute or so when I get past all of these cops. So there's a lot of shooting here. I'm not going to lie to you. So this is literally survival. So you need to make sure that you can get past all of these cops. So it is going to be a case of hoping for the best and hoping we don't get killed. So it's behind here in a minute. So we're going to run behind this van here. There should be 2 cops here. Yep, there is. We're going to shoot these 2 guys here. And there's should be at one point in a minute. One of them should come out of here. Or not. There we go. Okay. And time. Yeah. That is Reservoir Dogs. You can get a cutscene at the end. So Mr. Blue gets into the theatre and he's like, all I wanted was a dramatic ending. It's like, drop the gun. Nope. He obviously gets taken out. And that's the game all over. Like I said, you do get an ending. Which I can't show like the proper ending, but yeah, there the cuts. There's the credits. But as I said, it's a very short run. It can be done. Obviously, it can be done faster than that. The main part of the game is it gets added. So time, the RTA time is less. The RTA is less in this game, so it's more about in-game time than RTA. There are 3, like I said, there are 3 endings altogether in this game. So there is the professional ending, there is the psycho ending, and there is the normal ending. So the ending that you're probably seeing is probably going to be a normal ending because you get arrested, I think. I'm not sure. Maybe. Can't quite remember. But yeah, there are 3 endings altogether. Here you go, as you can see. This is like the ending. There is music, obviously, normally, but again, it's muted. But would highly recommend giving it a try. Like I said, it's very run and gun. You do have to know what you're doing. Okay, I guess not. Maybe not. You do have to know where you're going and everything to get through the whole game. There is actually, I've not even mentioned this. So there are documents in the game that you can pick up. A bit like if you think in Call of Duty, like intel that you pick up. This game has something similar. That you can pick up. I think some levels have like 3, some have 6, and so on. As I said, for the most part, the game is quite short in its length. If you can get a hold of it quite easily on PC. There is, like I said, a Xbox original title that is backwards compatible with the 360. If you do have one of those and you want to play it on the console. And there's also a PS2 release as well. Obviously, you can play that on emulation or on console if you have a PS2 and you want to buy the game. I think that's going to wrap this run up here, but just before I go, I just want to quickly say thank you again for the love of gaming for having me once again, for allowing me to show off 2 games. I'm really happy I got to show off Reservoir Dogs in the marathon, so I'm very happy about that. And yeah, it's definitely a marathon I love coming back to, and I'm very glad that I was able to put on hopefully an entertaining show for you guys. If you don't know what I do normally, it's mainly racing and driving stuff. So Reservoir Dogs, as you might imagine, is way out of my niche. But I found it quite enjoyable. Hopefully you guys did too. Like I said, very easy to get hold of. If you need any tips or tricks, there is a Discord for Reservoir Dogs, and obviously there are guides and things like that. And of course, as well, you can come to me directly over on Discord. Obviously, it's Viper Racing. I am in the Love of Gaming Marathon Discord as well. And on that note, I'm just going to say thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And yeah, I will pass it back over to the host.
Yeah, thank you for running that for us, Viper. It was a lot of fun watching that. So I want to watch the movie now.
Movie
We
is
will
good.
be, yeah, it is. So we'll probably throw it over to transition here pretty soon.